So, hold on. I got to chug this beer first.
Yep. Almost there.
Good form.
Decent pace.
Done.
Well done. Thank you.
Oh, what's up, Rounders? Welcome to episode 32. Sorry I had to chug that beer. I lost a bet last night.
Yep.
Streaming FIFA. James was in the chat watching me and bet that if I scored a goal before the game was over, he would chug a beer. If I didn't, I would have to. I missed 2 good shots, so there it was. Paid my dues.
That's how it goes, man. Soccer's tough.
Welcome to episode 32. We are live on Twitch right now. Speaking of that, tune in. You can give us your comments and questions. Captain DW is in the chat already.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're not following us on Instagram, do it. Subscribe to the pod. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us. It's getting...
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to roll. We got more content coming. We got a big July 4th weekend planned ahead.
Big time.
Hopefully it all goes well. And the weather, it looks like it's going to be good. Hopefully not that windy.
I hope so.
But
We're joined by ScareCrow again today.
yeah, we're welcoming back ScareCrow on this episode.
Yeah, appreciate it, fellas.
How are you, brother? And so what I'd also like to do it right now, as if this episode makes it official, we've had 2,000 streams thus far. So we'd like to say thank you to all you Rounders out there.
For real,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you guys.
Appreciate it. And also, hadn't done a Rounder shout out in a while.
That's
But
right.
I was at Buffalo Wild Wings prior to coming here. Saw Jeff Stokely. He's enjoying the show, and we appreciate you listening, brother. Got to get you a koozie, though. That's for sure.
Yep.
And you on the show, which we'll get all that done.
Facts. And if you're in Carolina Beach, go eat at Stoked.
Yep.
It's his family's restaurant. It's really good. Check it out. Today we are going to dive into America's birthday. Jimmy's got some fun facts about the founding fathers. We're going to share with everybody. We're going to talk about the chip shortage out of Asia and how that is affecting certain sectors in the business world, which is like really interesting, actually. NCAA athletes can make a lick now. Good for them. Sorry it didn't happen when you were one, Jimmy.
Whoa. It's about the name and likeness, so it's dialed in. I wouldn't have made money, is what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
And we'll finish it up with a sports recap and a preview for this weekend. First,
Yep.
this weekend is the 4th of July, which is why ScareCrow joins us.
Yeah.
People flock to Wilmington, to the coast for this. It's a big thing.
Yeah, well, let's be clear. Jordan's from here, but he's coming down anyway. And as always, Jordan, are you still doing the bourbon deal?
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you sipping on right now?
Hit the honey hole on the way down. Got me the nice smoke wagon. I got the uncut, unfiltered edition. It was actually bottled the 25th. So found me a good gem. So you know how I like to do it, right? Around with the boys. So your boys are more than welcome to help yourself.
Time out. So that on the 25th, like June 25th?
No, May. Right here it says date bottled May 25th.
Oh, okay. I
2021.
thought you meant June 25th. That's a pretty quick turnaround.
That was a pretty smooth drop there.
Yeah.
We might get a sponsorship worked out of that. That'd be pretty neat.
I mean, dude, it tastes great.
Anyway, dude, welcome back, man. Glad you're here. This man hit me up the other night. We were FaceTime the other night. This dude lives right there, like near like the Panther Stadium.
Yeah.
And there's that minor league ball team right there.
Yeah, Charlotte Knights.
Yeah, dude.
Man
just
sits on his
watching the
porch
game.
and just watches the game from his patio, from his porch.
Yeah,
This
it
is
was-
the catalyst building uptown.
Yeah, so that was pretty fucking sick. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, of course. No, it's a great view up there. Love watching the Charlotte Knights. It makes for fun. They got the fireworks in the park. They'll have concerts in there. All sorts of great
Which,
stuff.
by the way, I'm definitely coming up when the Panthers play the Bucks this year.
Yeah, Brady.
Yeah,
Brady
I want
fever.
to see the greatest.
Yeah,
of all
Yeah,
time.
yeah, for sure.
I'm coming.
Everyone's
Just-
going to be there.
Yeah, just
Let's
so
plan a
we're clear.
massive tailgate.
Dude, let's do it.
You remember the Thursday night game, the Eagles game from I think it was 2 years ago.
It was a blast.
Yeah. How many did we have? We probably had 50 of us.
Yeah. Was I there
Mikey,
for that?
shout out to Mikey, Branch, and all them. They took the train from Raleigh.
That's true.
Yeah, everyone came. That was amazing.
The Jets game is the one we
Yeah.
went to like 6 years ago.
Oh man,
Dude.
yeah,
Remember that with Joe and Ash?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
That was
yeah,
before they had kids.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, man, dude,
And that
Panthers
one
games.
chick from
It's great.
Alabama was there.
Yep, yeah,
I forget her name.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I went though was after that Thanksgiving because I saw the Dallas play the Eagles on Thanksgiving, or the Redskins, excuse me. And then I flew in
The Washington football team.
the Redskins, and so I flew into Charlotte and landed and went straight to a Panthers game with Jordan.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell of a weekend.
Yeah, 2
Dude.
NFL games in like 3 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, that was
That's right. I forgot about
That's
that.
big
dude.
time for me. I'm not really a traveling guy, so that was intense.
Did I show you a good time?
Dude, you've never not shown me a good time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, guy.
Like the ride back to Wilmington from Charlotte is always a struggle.
It's always
worst.
cool though living in Charlotte. You're right. A lot of people from Wilmington will come up. I've ran into Kyle Phillips one time and a few others. Mr. Highsmith,
Yeah.
see him all the time. So it's great. It brings people together. I'm excited about the season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's good, but tomorrow wouldn't be tomorrow. Well, technically Sunday, but this whole thing wouldn't be a thing. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the Founding Fathers. So shout out to those cats for risking it all.
Yeah, literally.
And so here's like a couple. I wanted to just do like some interesting facts, like / fun facts, right? So I found this little article, and it kind of had all I needed right here. So
Perfect.
here's a couple of them for you that you probably didn't know or whatever. Okay. 2 days before signing the Declaration of Independence, the delegates of the Constitutional Convention threw a party where they consumed 54 bottles of, I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce all these right, but Madeira, 60 bottles of claret, 8 bottles of whiskey, 22 bottles of porter, 8 bottles of hard cider, 12 bottles of beer, 7 bowls of alcoholic punch. Okay, so
I mean, that's a full-fledged party.
so how many people signed the Declaration of Independence? I'm pretty sure it was 56, right? So that's 50-something guys getting tanked. Now, I'm sitting there going, I would have done the same thing. You literally you all decided as a group, like, hey, man, fuck England. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if we,
basically it.
but if we lose, like, off with your head.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Ultimatum.
So it was a, I don't know. I would have got shit house too. So the result of that, we all thought it was kind of funny. So only 2 people actually signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th.
Nope, they were that hungover.
Yeah. So
I mean, it was. Hold on, the party was 2 days before, though.
So
I know something about a 2-day hangover now.
So check this out. So they had that party. They all got fucked up. Only 2 people signed it on July 4th. That was John Hancock, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And Charles Thompson, excuse me. Everyone else signed it. Guess the day. Throw it out there.
The 6th.
August 2nd.
August 2nd. A whole month later.
Dude, they were hammered, bro.
That's a hell of a hangover.
I mean, big time.
30-day hangover.
Yeah, dude.
Sheesh.
And like you don't have like we got remedies nowadays.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no remedies back then when you're sleeping in a wood hut.
Dude, you're that drunk. It's hot as shit. It's summertime. Like
Your bed is just a
I couldn't imagine.
fucking wooden plank with straw.
yeah,
Like how miserable is that?
yeah, just god awful.
Makes you never
Where's
want
the
to
Gatorade?
complain.
You don't have any. Go to
Yeah,
the
but
river.
true. But it kind of puts it in context. Like, yo, these are just people too, and it's like, man, you literally. So like, we all signed this thing, or these cats sign it, and what they signed is a death warrant. So every name on that list, they're coming to hang you in front of the whole public to let everybody know, don't be a traitor.
Right.
Like, this is the real deal.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like, it's kind of like a warrior spirit. Like, if you watch the show Vikings, they go conquer and they get fucked up. Or before they go, they get fucked up.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so you have that one last celebration of like, all right, here we are. Now, after we sign this thing, it's game on. It's on. Now we got to start moving for real because, you know, because like we discussed, it took like 40 days for something to get across back to England.
Yeah.
So from August 2nd, when they actually signed it, you know, and maybe they waited that long for strategic reasons. Who knows?
But could you? So it happened in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
It gets hot there in the summer, like South Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine being so fucking hungover
No.
in the heat, sleeping on a fucking.
Well, think about it, dude. There were still town drunks back then. There's always been drunks. So these people have been getting fucked up in the elements for a long time. Like,
Yeah, I guess when you've never been to a place that has air conditioning.
yeah,
so
what does that
it-
feel like?
yeah,
You
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
like
You
good
just hope
God.
for a cool breeze.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like, or you get rich enough where you have some motherfucker just flapping the little fan beside your face everywhere you walk. You know, those are like the alternatives. All right, next little fun fact here. This thing, according to this article, which who knows if this is actually true or not, but it's pretty funny. Benjamin Franklin was not allowed to write the Declaration of Independence because everyone thought he tried to slip a joke into the document.
No way.
Oh yeah, old Ben Frank. Because
Was he a funny guy?
yeah, dude, this guy was one of those like. So like, George Washington, one of his things is like, you know, in his memoirs, tells people to, you know, wake early and like get at your day early, this, that, and the other. Ben Franklin's the exact opposite. He's like, nah, dog, wake up when you want to, like sleep in, do whatever, drink, have multiple women. I don't care. Like that was his style, and he was a statesman. I mean, dude was brilliant.
A hell of a head of hair.
Yeah, I mean, he was like a very influential figure to never be a president. which is, kind of wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's like, people talk about they want dead presidents. It's like, well, Ben Franklin's on the $100 bill. He wasn't a president.
Yeah, well, Ben. And honestly, I think the most badass, like, physical form president, like, obviously GW's the man for starting this whole thing, but Andrew Jackson, the dude walked around with a bullet in his chest, like, for 50 years.
Damn.
Yeah, dog. He had 101 duels.
Wow.
Okay, he didn't come out unscathed. He actually got shot twice. They got the other one out. It was from a separate duel, but it was in, like, his stomach or his side. They got that one out, but the other one in his chest, he had it forever.
Can you imagine going 101 and 0 in duels?
You're a G, dog. Like,
Yeah.
first off, that's just the most gangster shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, listen, we have enough of a problem with each other that we're going to genuinely
10-step walk off
10 paces and
and
turn.
then shoot.
And then with this shitty-ass aiming pistol, try
That
to
only
hit each
has
other.
one shot in it.
And, so get this, the one in his chest, it was actually, when they turned and did all that, he actually got shot first in the chest. And then it was his turn and fucking dropped him. Like, boom.
Just ate it and shot him.
Yep.
I mean,
But yeah, that's
But
crazy.
he didn't know if he was going to die either, so it's like.
Well, what was weird is like they didn't figure out to like put a little point on it. Back then it was just a ball.
Yeah.
It's a fucking lead ball.
Well, and the whole rifle and a gun,
yeah.
that was slow to come about. Even though technically, I looked up the other day, technically the first rifling of a barrel was like in 1450 or some shit, or like the actual way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, yeah, I need to go back and look at that. I might have been fucked up. Who knows? All right. So moving on, and they also said in here, just a little quick blurb, he was not that good at math, and most of his little experiments on electricity relied on trial and error, which kind of makes sense.
That was my favorite way to do science.
Yeah.
That's still my favorite way to do most of anything.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah, you just, well, maybe this will work. Nope.
It's the old tactic of like, how do you teach your kid to swim? You just throw them in the pool and just sit there and don't let them drown, but just
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, like you got to figure it out.
Yeah, there you go. Because you're forcing yourself to do it.
Right.
It's not like you're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, trial and error is always a good time.
Okay. So let's see here. Also, this thing on here, it said he purposely misspelled Pennsylvania on the state's currency to deter counterfeiters. Interesting.
I wonder if anyone noticed that. Well, I mean, I'm sure they did.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure some did. Let's see.
couldn't
here.
tweet about it back then.
Let's see here. Some good shit, and let's see.
Euro
Thomas
update,
Jefferson-
Italy's 2-0 at halftime.
Yeah, if you're carrying on. This one was cool too. Thomas Jefferson, I guess, is a genius. This man could read and write 6 languages,
Oh, 2-1. Sorry.
which is insane. All right, there was
They gave him
one
that
other
penalty
one.
at the end? Oh, shit.
As they should.
I didn't see it. It's
Mhm.
2-1. Sorry.
All right, so this one, just to kind of wrap this up and kind of move forward, I thought this was pretty damn cool. Did you know, like, it's actually Paul Revere on the Sam Adams Boston Lager? Or, like, the label? It's Paul Revere.
Not Sam Adams.
Yeah. Just kind of got my ass when I was reading this
Damn.
earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So,
That's like the biggest fun fact I've learned recent.
yeah.
Interesting.
So write that down.
Probably tell that to every bartender.
Every
order
person
one
I
from
see
now.
that drinking a Sam Adams now, I'm like, hey, did you know that's Paul Revere?
Hmm
See how
every
many
time.
people know.
So this article better not be wrong, or we're going to be a bunch of idiots out there.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. If anyone's tuning in, can you fact check that? Please?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So anyway, dude, that's
First Twitter.
some cool shit you probably didn't know. And hey, man, without that big ass war that lasted like 8 years, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly. We wouldn't be able to.
And thanks for everybody who's, all you troops out there, everybody who served. We appreciate you.
For sure.
So we could be free and just fuck off this weekend.
Yeah. Speaking of this weekend,
Yeah.
So down here in Wilmington, we have a little place called Masonboro Island.
Yep.
That
Ooh.
is a state-owned island, like I guess off the coast, but maybe like it's in the. So basically, one side of it's the ocean, one side of it's the waterway.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
And historically, on Memorial Day, July 4th, and Labor Day,
Oh.
everyone goes to Masonboro. You take your boats out there, you anchor up. It's a party.
Mm-hmm.
Back in our college days,
Yeah.
it was really, really a party. I haven't been out there in a couple of years on the 4th,
Yeah.
so I'm anxious tomorrow when we go to like. Tomorrow's not actually the 4th. You'll be out there Sunday too, though.
Yeah, possibly.
Yep.
But tomorrow it's still gonna be crazy tomorrow because it's Saturday and
The whole
I'll
weekend.
say this, like what this place is. I mean, everything over time, there's more fucking rules and less fun. You know what I'm saying? Which is whack. But I saw my first pair of tits out there when I was a kid. No, seriously, I was 13 going out there with like my family's
Yeah,
friends, and
yeah.
like they're out there partying. And I was
this place
like,
holds a special.
like, look at
It's
that.
got a special place in James's heart.
Do you?
I mean, hey man, everybody remembers their first pair.
You
Yeah, I
remember the Bud Light sponsored yachts that used to go by, the Bud Light and the
Yeah.
Miller Light, back when we were kids? Because that's when me, you, Joey, Alex Gazda, shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
We all used to go as kids with our parents and party there. You know, it was a little
Yeah.
bit less.
I'll tell you one thing, the coolest shit, because obviously, like out there, everybody used to like tie their boats up together. So you'd have like, you know, like anywhere from 6 to I've seen like at least 15
11
boats.
was the big one.
Oh, yeah.
With a giant boat in the middle and 6 to the left, 6 to the right.
And I can't remember if I told this story before, but like I'll never forget, we were out there on one time. We were like 23, I think, and shout out to Tom Kaiser and Marshall Thomason.
Yeah.
These guys came late from Raleigh down there. We were already on the boat, already fucked up. They bought the floating devices, like little kid toys from Wings, and bought a case each, and each got on these floating devices and floated across the inlet to the fucking
God, I
boats.
remember that
They
shit.
waited for the
Wow.
tide to be coming in, so they didn't get sucked out. So they got pushed in and just paddled. Now, mind you, this inlet is like a hammerhead feeding ground.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of surfers will paddle over from south end of Wrightsville Beach across the inlet to go surf at Masonburg because there's a jetty wall. And, you know, if the wind's going
It's
a
good
certain
break
way,
and shit,
if the wind's going a certain way, it won't be as choppy, the whole nine. But these cats floated across this thing. I mean, boats going everywhere. And then just kind of like swam like with the floaties all the way. I mean, they were legends. I
Yeah.
remember everybody cheered and all that shit. It was pretty wild.
That is
and
wild.
ballsy. It's like, dude.
Big ballsy.
Yeah.
They've actually done a pretty good job at Masonboro. I want to say I was out there 2 or 3 years ago, but you know, they'll have trash bags and everything.
Oh, yeah.
They've done
So-
a great job
yeah,
of making
so
their
it's
first
actually-
aid kits
Yeah,
and like
environmentally
they're
sound. out
they've
there.
got it locked down. They understand it's like a big giant rave out there.
So
Mhm.
what happened was the state owns the island, and like 7-8 years ago, the state tried to shut it down basically because of young kids going out there and partying.
Yeah.
A man named Richard Johnson, who lives in Wilmington now, he's a good friend of my uncle, my tech investor uncle. Richard Johnson started hotjobs.com years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle helped him out with that, among many other things. Dude is loaded, has a massive property on the waterway on Masonboro Sound. When he heard that Masonboro was going to get closed down, he started masonboro.org, which are a ton of people in red shirts, you'll see in the videos tomorrow, who are out there picking up trash, providing medical attention, you know, keeping it right? Because they're all volunteers. And then Richard has his own, basically, mini marina. He has 8 boat slips at his house. And he bought, this is no lie, he bought 6 20-foot flat-bottom skiffs. And they run back and forth. And he rents a giant, like 2 giant dumpsters, and they come and drop them at his dock.
Yeah.
And they just run back and forth to Masonboro transporting trash so that we can continue to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which is like awesome on their part, but at the same time,
Philanthropy, yeah.
like, just clean up after your fucking self. That's
Yeah.
what drives
True.
me
Be a
nuts.
good human.
Like, just be a human. Like just.
All right. Yeah. But when you're pissed drunk, you don't know where you are.
I understand that, but
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
just telling you, there's gonna be some bottles that fucking,
Oh, of course.
you know, there's gonna be shit out there.
Self-control.
That's why I like those guys being out there. Clean it up. It's great.
yeah, it's great.
You know, and it gives it. Hey, where's the trash can? That's like always the question on the boat.
Oh, and they come by with boxes
Yeah,
of
so-
like rolls of trash bags. Like, you need a trash bag? Like, yeah, actually
Yeah.
we do. And it's cool.
Shout out to that organization.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna be posting. We'll be putting up a bunch of. We'll be out there.
Yeah, hopefully.
England play. There's 2 good Euro matches. I'll have the pad. We'll be watching the games out there. I mean, it's gonna be
Yeah, just because we're partying doesn't mean we're not gambling. Don't ever.
never stops.
Good God.
Never stops. All right. If you haven't heard, there is a massive chip shortage because the ports in Asia, in China specifically, are basically closed down because of the COVID. Or, there's a bunch of shit going on, right? It's China. They just everything changes day to day. The chip shortage is causing a lot of industries here, right? So one, the computer industry, but mainly the car industry, which I found was very interesting.
Yeah.
So the used car business right now is fucking booming
Mhm.
because places like Ford, for example, who have 2 massive manufacturing facilities in Tennessee, have produced all these brand new cars, and they're just sitting there because they're just waiting on computer chips. So what they've done is they've actually gone to local farms
Mhm.
and they are paying farmers to not grow crops on a certain amount, and they're leasing their land. The farmers are making more money leasing their land to
Yeah.
Ford to literally put brand new cars that can't be sold there.
That's fucking wild.
Insane. Like my brother, him and his wife in the last 2 weeks traded both their cars in, made money on it, got into new cars for cheaper payments. I mean, the whole deal.
Yeah. Yeah, because my dad wants he wants an F-150. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
And he can't get it.
Yeah. No.
And it's like, and if you're going to be paying out the ass for it right now anyway.
Right.
Because of all that. I mean.
So I dropped off the Mitsubishi earlier, right? At D&E. And it's a 2016. It's got like 60 something thousand miles on it. And I was talking to the guy. He's like, dude, you can get a lot of money for this. We could put you in. And I was like, fuck off. I'm less than a year out from paying this thing off.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're not doing that. But I could have if I wanted to continue making payments, which I didn't want to do. But
yeah.
It's like used car salesmen right now are rolling in cash.
They're getting after it, man. And I work in Havelock. Shout out to all you Havelockers out there. But anyway, dude, there's a guy out there doing like a car rental service. Like just regular, like this dude just doing it by himself, like for rent, like these cars, he set up his own little business.
Really?
And just renting cars. Like I'd never seen that before. I'd never seen like
That's weird.
an independent renting a car.
Yeah, it's not like Hertz or Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's the...
I was like, huh. And I was wondering, and it reminded me because you were talking about this whole chip shortage thing in used cars. Yeah. Like, I guess people are just, now that you could fly in, because I'm sure like a lot of contractors come through for the government. Because if y'all know where Havelock is, there's an air base for like the Marine Air Base called Cherry Point that's there. And so there's a shit ton of planes flying all the time. So, I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, contractors coming in all the time. So they maybe just rent cars cheaper with that guy. He's just undercutting them. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's unique. But, along with all this stuff, I mean, I'm hearing now, like, wood apparently, obviously we all know it's like 3 times what it was, but it's starting to
come down
a little bit. Not a lot, but it's still coming down. But, like, in terms of, like, my furniture business, if you want to order something from like Lazy Boy right now, if you want to order like a leather sofa, it's going to take a year.
Jeez.
Yeah. And if you wanted it with a motor in it, it's going to be like a year and a half because all those electronic parts, they can't get it.
Can't get it. Yep.
And then the crazy thing with so fireworks, I heard on the news this morning, like, so fireworks, the guy who owns the shit, he's like, literally, there's not enough ships or whatever to go get, they said they're just sitting in the ports in China.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
Just sitting there, yeah.
And he's like, we won't even get it till next 4th of July. And so we can't. And just like with the truckers, so say you order this sofa, part of the problem is they're all sitting in High Point because there's not enough truckers to go get the shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm dealing with on a daily basis in my job. The capacity shortage is like killing us. Rates are through the roof. I mean, they are up, 50-75%. Compared to what we were paying, and you can't use last year because last year was.
Well, here's my question: is it because
it's because people are getting paid to not work?
Not only that, but if the supply chain bottlenecks so much that now that all the products coming back in, it's just an overwhelming thing that there's literally maybe there's a little less drivers than before, but even if you get it back to the full force of what it was, there's still more product to get.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to catch back up unless you overhired. Which is an impossibility at the moment.
That's true.
It's very true. Well, you would know about that. I mean, you're a staff.
Yeah.
How's that affecting you guys?
Yeah, it's panic buying, dude. The market is insane right now. Like, honest with you, shout out to anybody out there that's looking to change their job or looking for a job. The market is hot, and you get a lot more money by leaving your current company than you get in your annual raise. You can get I posted that the other day for people to look at. I mean, you can get a 15-25% raise by leaving your current company and going and getting a new job. And right now, a lot of people in the market want to work remote. I mean, it's crazy out there. I mean, I've never seen the market like this. Just companies going after everyone left and right. I mean, it literally, it's absurd. Our business is flooded.
So is the trend like sniping people from other companies? Or just trying to get workers?
Is it
sniping people from other
companies.
That
are already employed, or is it the unemployed?
Man, it's a little bit of both. I mean, there's a lot of people that are employed that I'm trying to pull right now. I was able to pull a few here recently, but the counter offers are even realer.
So Jordan's a recruiter for all you guys here.
Well,
Director.
Well, explain yourself.
Partner in our recruiting company. So yeah, we run a recruiting service. So we do IT and engineering, staff aug, projects, SOW works across the United States and the world. I mean, so we've got a lot going on. I mean, like I said, it is busy out there. The same way you're doing in freight. I mean, like there's just people that are hiring. It's insane. So I encourage you guys out there that are looking for a job, start applying in a corporate. I mean, it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Like,
Well,
yeah.
the thing is, like, you would think it'd be a bottleneck of goods coming in, right? But there aren't any. Right? There's like a few goods coming in through the ports, but as it like everyone in America, is popping off. I mean, things going back to normal. You just can't find people to drive trucks
Yeah, well, what I was saying, like either way,
domestically.
you're playing catch up on both ends.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
You're
of it-
understaffed, and you have
Yeah.
you know.
So that bottleneck, I mean, it might be reverse on some industries than others.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that like with the firework thing, it's bottleneck like in China, they can't even fucking. But with our furniture, it's like, I mean, yeah, that's taking forever. But then once we even get it, we can't get it.
Right.
Like it's in North Carolina, like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's wild though. I mean, like literally prices the last 3 months have gone up every single month. We get the email coming through. So that's another thing. If you're worried about inflation going forward, you need to buy whatever you want now.
Yeah.
Like, don't wait. There was a guy that came into the store. He was literally kind of pissed. Like, he's like, well, I came in here, 5 months ago, and like, he didn't get a quote back then. We would have honored the quote.
Yeah.
But he was just thinking about it back then. He's like, no, whatever. He's like, I'm not serious about it. He just got the cash, and he came back in, and he was like, why is it that? And it's like, well, sir,
I'll tell.
supply and demand.
Have you seen everything else?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy. That's funny. You should start posting more stuff like that and just saying.
Yeah. Is anybody running social media
But
for you
but
guys?
but
Yeah.
the Fed sees no signs of inflations, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they don't
bullshit.
see, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see,
but you just got to start
that's
posting
what's
stuff like
funny.
that. The Feds say they don't see any sign of
Well,
inflation, so
that's
they
what's
keep printing
funny.
money.
Yeah, the talking heads, man, like, i.e. the people that are supposedly in control, them and the people on TV. They're like, oh, well, inflation's not that bad, and this, that, and the other. Well, how about you go out there and ask a business owner?
Yeah,
Like
Pump the
ground
gas.
level. Like I'm literally, I could tell you right now. Like I said, we've increased every single month. We get the email, and we're like, shit, because it's annoying for me because I gotta
Yeah.
go retag everything.
Yep.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Yeah, that does suck. Yeah, the cost of goods is just.
And now
through the roof,
I
dude.
heard there was like some paint shortage for like house paint.
I mean, it's everywhere. It's in the
Yeah.
housing market. I mean, it's literally everywhere. You're seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's insane. It's crazy because we're in a society like where you have instant gratification.
Yeah, like you want it now, you get it now.
Like
type shit.
i.e. the whole thing. Like Tesh, like my roommate Tesh here was like bitching at me. I don't know, 3-4 hours last night trying to get me to get Venmo, and I'm like, nah, fuck that. He's like, nah, it's convenient. It's this, that, and the other, and I'm like, nah, I just don't like the concept of Venmo. But we're a Venmo society. Is what my example is here.
Yeah, I sided with Tesh on this.
instant-
I'll never understand why you won't get it.
I get
Yeah,
it.
I
I was
yeah.
using the example of instant gratification. So that's our society mindset because we live in our society we live in.
Yeah, you need it now. It's like that Bo Burnham shit I was playing. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen the Bo Burnham special on Netflix called Inside, it's a comedy special where Bo Burnham got famous on YouTube, like when YouTube came out. Basically, he'd make these songs on a keyboard in his bedroom, and it was fucking hilarious. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Pretty talented too.
He's very talented, and I will say it's for his special is for like a special crowd. Like, it's non-PC. It's pretty dark humor. I think it's hilarious. But the creative of what he does, so he locks himself in like this room, and he has a couple cameras, these like lights and shit that he bought. He makes everything himself, and it's basically an hour and a half of just music videos, but
Yeah.
that tie together, and it's all about society.
And his name is Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham, excuse me.
Bo Burnham. And he's got a segment, and you can also listen to the album on iTunes.
Okay.
But Welcome to the Internet
Yeah.
is one of the songs. And he's like, welcome to the internet, take a look around. He said, we have a little bit of everything all of the time.
Yeah.
Anything you want, nod your head and it's there. Which, like, if you listen to it, you understand what I'm saying. But the chorus is a little bit of everything all of the time. Like,
Yeah.
And
know
it's perfect.
What he reminds me of, if y'all have seen the movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall,
Oh yeah.
how the guy he has his whole little play with the vampires, and he's like,
Dracula.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Count
that's a
Dracula.
classic.
Classic, great movie.
Unbelievable.
yeah. So like that guy reminds me of that kind of style, but he does, like you said, he does multiple styles on that thing. So.
Yeah, so like he'll do like a 80s themed like rock song. He'll do like a Drake kind of shit. He has like a hip hop one. He has like a slow like The Weeknd shit that's called Sexting. It's like sexting. It's not sex. It's the next best thing. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
but it's funny as shit, and it's super creative because he does it all by himself
Yeah.
in a room over the course of a year. And like midway through, he like kind of breaks down. He's like, my mental health, he has like, I'm trying to think of, remember Real World?
Oh yeah.
The confession room where it's just like, a
Oh
camera on you?
yeah.
So like it has like segments like that
Yeah.
where he's like, my mental health is at an all-time low right now. Like I'm losing it. Like I was supposed to be done with this 3 months ago. So it's very,
Wow.
it like tugs it because you're like, wow, this guy's for real. But it's just the creative aspect behind it's awesome. So check that out if you haven't.
Oh, I need to.
But back to what we're saying, instant convenience. He references that all the time in that shit.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's anything you want, you can get it now. Instead of going outside and enjoying life, like you're refreshing your fucking Instagram feed. I do it. I'm guilty every night. You lay in bed. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Staring at your phone.
Got to be in the moment.
Yeah, because it's like we can get information so quickly that each person wants to be the first to know it.
Yeah. But the thing about a lot of times the first blurb that comes out isn't always accurate.
No, but when it comes to like sports, like so Jordan's in a group chat with me and Zach and all these guys, and we do a lot of transfers. Like, and by transfers I mean like European soccer transfers.
Mm-hmm.
There's one guy in particular, Fabrizio Romano, who is basically, I call him the Adam Schefter of European football. Right? Like if Schefter tweets it, it's legit. You just know.
Yeah.
And this guy, like when he tweets it, I have his notifications set to on. It's like every tweet he sends, I get an update.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a game, like who can send the tweet
first,
yeah, exactly. So shit like that is legit. But like as far as like breaking news, like who's to trust with that shit? But there's just certain aspects, and that's what I'm saying. Like the internet, a little bit of everything all the time, whenever you want it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you can find whatever on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, I've never been on the dark web though. Jordan, have you been on the dark web?
Never.
Never.
I've heard about it, but
I've
never
heard
been
about
on
too.
it.
I've never
Because
been on
like, I just feel like, I don't know. You're like, you would know how to get there. I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'll say the only time
technology.
that I've ever been in an awkward situation as far as the dark web is I belong to a few networking groups up there in Charlotte, and we were in the CISO one, and there's an individual that was explaining the dark web, and it's very interesting. I mean, like being
What was
able
he saying about it?
able to access your phone and anyone in the room, like close by, connected to the Wi-Fi. I mean, there's a lot of things these hackers can do. I mean, why do you think we're seeing such an increase in attacks on companies? I mean, a lot of it's not reported, but it is happening. Like, and companies are forced to ramp up on their spending, which again ties into why the security space. IT security right now is such a hot commodity. I mean, these things are happening in real life. I mean, you guys see it.
Yeah, I mean that industry in particular is only going to get hotter because, like you said, and I'm just here to tell you, man. Call me a prepper, call you what you want, but like, dude, I'm gonna start buying like canned food occasionally. just to store some, a little water purifier, because I mean, think about it. If they can hack, if like 5 or 6 idiots in Russia can hack a gas line, shut off gas to wherever. Why couldn't they shut off? Why couldn't they turn shit off?
like a power grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, hey, we did the 5 days without power during Florence. That was a little, wasn't fun.
It's not fun.
And what I'm saying is, fuck a storm. If you got like, so let's say 4 or 5 states without power.
Well, like a storm.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's bad because there are places here that did have power when the storms come around. Like people helped and all that shit. But if even inland North Carolina, inland South Carolina, they all had power. People could go there. They came here to help. The Cajun Navy came up here at Florence, fucking balled out. Those dudes are badass. But if 5 states connected,
well, think about it.
Lose power, you're just
Well, I'm just saying, like, look at say a state like the state of Florida without power.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
So obviously the neighboring states could come try to help the first people, but look, what about down the way?
Miami.
Yeah,
hell, Carl down the Keys.
Well, just think about it, dude. I mean, like, this is our society, especially there, man. Do it in the middle of the heat or whatever, and think about it. If these hackers, if they're just, because like so far it's just been groups. This hasn't been like the country of Russia government doing it, right? It's been these punks or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, obviously they're going to be thinking like, all right, if we can get that, we're going to get a big payday.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. People have been paying all this shit. And while we're talking about Florida, dude, God bless every single family that has been a part of that collapse.
That is horrible.
Like, God bless y'all, man.
I live in a high rise too, dude.
I
That
know.
shit's scary,
That
man.
shit is
and like
super
the more
scary.
I read about it and the amount of engineering inspectors who complained about it,
Oh wow.
whoever owns that is just
Oh, they're
Shit's
shame on
over.
you,
and you're fucked.
and you should be fucked
yeah.
because the reports are just awful, just
Yeah.
awful.
I haven't read them. That's that bad?
That bad. A guy was in there 36 hours beforehand taking photos, and there was so much standing water in the ground level parking deck. He was like super concerned, and then he was actually inspecting the pool, and the pool was leaking into the parking deck, and then he went into like the control area,
Mm-hmm.
exposed wires, and then rebar that was rotted and exposed above it.
Who's the
There's
fucking
photos.
manager of that building?
Dude, I don't know, but whoever it is, they all need to be held accountable
You're fucking right.
because
Yeah.
that shit is terrible.
All right, and so it is a tragic thing, but there has been one life that was saved.
That little boy, you see it?
What?
The little
They
boy.
found a little boy 2 days later, still alive.
Underneath the rebel?
So
Yeah.
all right, this
Huh.
was 2 days after it happened. I'm pretty sure.
9 years old.
I'm pretty sure it was a guy walking like his dog near the site.
Yeah, they had search dogs in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
which are
Or wait, you sure it was that?
yeah.
I thought it was like a civilian.
It might have been a civilian. I know that they
Yeah,
brought
it
search
was-
dogs in.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was a civilian that was just near the site
hmm
and heard some shit, and like it happened to be this little boy. And
Yeah.
he heard this little noise, and he goes over there, and it's a little boy, and like obviously he was under some shit that was too heavy for this guy to lift up, or he would have got him out.
Yep.
And the kid was like, please help me, and so he called. They brought him over there to that specific part of the rubble,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
rescued his
and
ass.
like they were saying like the little kid was sitting there saying, begging the guy to not leave him, and the
Mhm.
guy like stayed right there, like him. I mean, like that's some feel good shit. Like thank God that kid. 'Cause I'm doubt his parents made it. I mean, because this happened at 1:30 in the morning
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone
it's-
was sleeping.
on a weekday. Like
Everyone
so-
was sleeping. That I mean,
Yeah.
I know to seek some goodness in an accident, but at least
Yeah.
you were sleeping when this happened.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Oh, true. Yeah.
you know what I mean.
No,
but
going out without feeling.
going out without feeling.
Hopefully,
yeah, hopefully you would hope, but
And-
that is very
so,
scary and tragic.
Like so, go ahead and hug your family, friends this weekend, and really enjoy that. And
yeah, it's
you know,
crazy.
Pour,
like
pour one out for them.
he that 9-year-old kid. I saw the video of him getting rescued, which was unbelievable. And then I saw an interview with a guy whose mom and grandmother are still missing.
Yeah.
His grandmother was on the phone with him 2 days prior, complaining that the walls were creaking and making like loud creaking noises.
Jeez, dude. All the warning signs are fucking there.
It's
All of them.
unbelievable, and they had been there for a while. So whatever, we'll move on from that. But
We'll move on for it. But hey, well,
rest in peace, to all those
but-
people. Because
on that note, though, look, man, the whole see something, say something, you can apply that to anything in life.
yeah, don't be ashamed to speak up.
Like, listen, if there's a problem and you don't feel comfortable with something in your living space, like, fucking say something, man.
Say
Don't
something.
don't regret it later.
Say something.
Anyway,
Anyway,
onward.
yeah. So hopefully the chip shortage gets fixed. So if you're looking for a new car, it's a tough thing.
And also, like Jordan said, if you're looking for a fucking job, this is people are begging for
Yeah.
work.
Every place I go to, man. Hell, half the restaurants in Wilmington shut down on Mondays because they're understaffed.
Yeah, dude, the fucking dollar
Yep.
store at the end of my road it opens at 1 p.m., closes at 10.
Jeez.
Wow.
Think about that, dude.
They
The
have
fucking dollar store.
No morning staff.
Yeah, dude.
And that dollar store is pretty sick. It's like a mini Walmart.
Dude, it's great. They sell beer there now.
Oh, no shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. I get my allergy medicine from there. It's like $1 for fucking six pills. I mean, dude.
It's great.
Yeah.
It is a mini Walmart.
Okay, like in context, like Zyrtec, 20, 25, 30 pills, you're looking at like $28.
Oh yeah, easy.
So, I mean,
Zyrtec.
you're doing good.
Yeah, $10 you have 2 months supply.
Yeah, and you're fucking straight. Like,
Damn. Well, yeah, get out there and get a job. Find a, for Christ's sake. So, all right. So, speaking of money and
Mhm.
making money,
mm-hmm.
as of yesterday, the NCAA has allowed student athletes to profit off of their name and liking.
And for this category, we are going to shout out Captain DW and say thank you.
Yeah, thank you for this because this completely slipped my mind, and I put the Instagram post up about questions. That was his question, and I was like, "Damn, I'm a fool. I should have known to talk about that because that is absolutely humongous." The fucking Barstool Bros already at it again. This is a crazy story. Portnoy put this on his story yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Some volleyball chick from Jacksonville State DM'd him and was like, "Hey, as of today, we're allowed to make money off our name. I'm looking to get sponsored by Barstool. Will you sponsor us? Will you sponsor me?" And he was like, "What the fuck?" And talked to Erica, the CEO. Which, if you want to listen to a good podcast, Token CEO by Erica Nardini. She's the CEO of Barstool Sports, and she is a badass.
All right.
She was like, "Yeah, let's do this." So now they have Barstool Athletes. They launched it in like 2 hours yesterday, and his Instagram story had 30, 40 just random volleyball players, tennis, you name it, golf,
Yeah, all sorts
football,
of stuff. Track.
everyone.
That's
Yeah.
badass.
And literally, athletes just started DMing Barstool, and they're like, "Fuck yeah!" And so they're not paying them; they're just sending them Barstool athlete
Just gear.
gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why you're saying I could have got sponsored or whatever?
Yeah.
Does
Does this mean we need to buy more pen?
Let me tell you something, man. Penn's got the shit kicked out of it for a while. The next earnings report, I think, is August 2nd. I'd go ahead and
Booming.
get in there right now.
And for those of you who didn't listen to the first podcast I was on, it was, bourbon and stocks. Put a few tips in there. I'll give you guys one. I gave it to a few friends yesterday. It ran today, but it IPO'd Wednesday. Sentinel. It's ticker S.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that are serious about your finances and can handle putting some money away and coming back 2 years from now, that's a 3 to 5xer right
I'd
there.
like to comment on this real quick. I was the one who gave that to Jordan.
You did as well, but it's funny. I got a call from a CISO buddy who told me he was in that space, and he was trying to download Robinhood and figure it out. And I was like, "What for?" And he's like, "Dude, I got to buy Sentinel." He's like, "I'm in that space, and it's just crazy." And he was talking about like CrowdStrike.
So that was me. It was a spurt off
Yeah,
CrowdStrike.
I told him about your.
So I showed him the Magic Quadrant for CrowdStrike, which the Magic Quadrant is a tool, a research tool. A buddy of mine works for them, and the Magic Quadrant, it's 4 squares, right? Like you're looking at a graph, and if the company is in the top right, it's good. CrowdStrike's number 1, right?
Mhm.
I got in at CrowdStrike with like 91, 92, trading at like 260 now. That was about 6 months ago. Sentinel. So after CrowdStrike, there's Microsoft.
Yep.
And then Sentinel,
Mm-hmm.
which just IPO'd. I think today it was trading around 40, low 40s.
Yeah, it ran 11%, I think, at the end of the day.
So
Well,
if
speaking
it's
of-
half the thing of CrowdStrike,
Yeah.
ticker is just S.
All right. Well, speaking of IPOs, though, little tidbit for you. IPOs generally 6 months after the IPO has started, people can take their profits.
The employees can.
Employees
Employees,
can.
yep.
So therefore,
Wait.
watch out.
Yeah, watch
And
out.
hold.
Run. Well,
just saying,
run,
just
run the
watch.
Run the profit game for the first month or two.
Mm-hmm.
Get out because it'll
Yeah.
drive down, and then they'll drive it up,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll sell out. It'll go down again after 6 months, and then it's game time.
Yeah, and also little tip from your boy Jimmy here. MU, okay, that company is called Micron Technology. They also deal with chips. All right, they just had their earnings report. It was a pretty good report, decent report, and it fell. You know how earnings reports are always a flip of a coin.
Right.
Okay, even if it's good, it's not
The
good
stock
enough.
can still
Goes
take.
down.
I never
and
understand.
it falls. But because it's a game. It's all a
Yeah.
game. But what I'm telling you right now, I wish we would have done this earlier. I would have said, if you have like, I don't know, $300, $400, $500, throw some calls on it. Go ahead and do it. Because I think next week and the week after, it's going to fucking pop. Because it fell like $6 on its earnings. Like,
Oh shit.
for whatever reason.
AMD's been good too.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's just something. And I'm an options guy. I like the quick game. I like all that. But I'll say one more just while we're on it, because I thought this was interesting that from just a scientific standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, TMDX, Transmedics Group Incorporated. So these cats figured out. So they said, I can't remember the percentage of organs that are wasted, but if you're an organ donor,
Oh, you told me about this the other night.
most likely your organs are going to be wasted.
Yep.
And null and void. So these guys figured out how to keep those organs alive longer, because the way they store organs now, they expire after X amount of time. So these guys figured out how to make it like
Way longer.
3 times.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the process was like putting like blood through the organs and keeping the organs alive like that.
Basically, keeping them like they're functioning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
but,
smart.
But obviously that's probably expensive, so they had to make it somewhat viable, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just think in terms of like technology and honestly, that's not even approved. It's in the process of getting fully approved.
So once it gets approved,
So it's sitting
a rip.
it's sitting around $30 something right now, just so you know. Yeah. All right, so back to the NCAA.
yeah. So students can earn money on their name and liking now. The
Mhm.
first student athlete signed a deal I forget who it was with. I don't know, but it was the quarterback of Miami Hurricanes, which fuck you. And he did that at 12:01 a.m. I saw online to become the first athlete to make money off his game.
Yeah. See, I'm cool with the whole making money off your personal name.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. And the reason I say that, because shout out to Captain DW, but like me and him were talking about the other night, and we were arguing in circles, and we didn't even realize we were making different points until later. But that's what happens when you're a little too fucked up. So here's the deal. I appreciate that because, first off, and this is what DW was saying, which I completely concur, you're forcing them to go to school for a year. Like,
Exactly.
if they're good enough to fucking make it, who the hell are you to make them go to school?
Anyone who's ever been to college can agree. That's just a job.
Oh, I know. And I played D1 soccer at Gardner Webb for a year.
Mhm.
All right. It is a fucking job.
Yeah.
Talking about we had 3 days in the summer, 2 days during school year, like basically year round. We were doing 2 days. I mean, it was crazy.
Right.
But my thing is, the NCAA, in terms of making somebody go to school, I mean, that's like being in the mob. Like, no, we're going to tax your ass first.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to bring your talented ass here. You're going to risk getting hurt. You're going to risk God knows what,
Right.
you know, in the college life.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But it's all because we made these fucking rules and you're going to sell tickets. So it's like, fuck you. And my whole argument to counter their point, well, you know, they got to come to school to see if it should be like, nah, dude, all you're going to do is make them go for a year and go relearn the shit that you already learned in high school, because all the first year is taking other classes like on English, math, Spanish, like a language, all that shit.
It's fillers. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like they're going to teach you college version of that. Like, no, dude.
Yeah, no, it's dumb.
It's a legit waste of time. And literally, if I'm that good to go to the pros after my first year,
Mhm.
let me go, because then I can go get my first year over with being a rookie in the pros and get my fucking bearings
Right.
on the job that I'm actually going to pursue.
Right.
Like, what is this? Y'all teaching me math again? Like, dog, all I need to know how to do is count my fucking money when I go do that shit.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like math classes, like teaching in general is so ridiculous, right? Like, oh, hey, here are these formulas. You know, you have to learn these formulas and apply them on this test. You know, like, oh, you're not always gonna have a calculator in your pocket. Like, fuck you. Joke's on you. I actually do always have a goddamn calculator in my pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, in the form of a goddamn iPhone.
And sure.
Second, I'm sorry, if you actually want to be that guy to make these Excel sheets and these formulas, fine, study that shit. But any real life shit, they send you Excel sheets with the shit plugged in. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I took a class in Excel. I learned how to do formulas and all that shit. That's fine, whatever. But you don't have to do that.
No, you don't.
You don't.
And again, if your profession is going to be playing a fucking sport,
You definitely don't have to.
Technically, you don't need any of that shit.
You pay somebody to do that.
You just need to know the rules of the game that you're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and you get paid enough money to
fuck?
just sub everything else out.
Yeah, dude. Well, like, what a joke.
I do think what's cool though is that they're allowing these athletes to finally make money. I mean, think about I'll just give you a personal example. Tyrod Taylor. When I was at Virginia Tech, he came in for Glennon, which we all wanted, and balled the fuck out. My sophomore year, because he was a freshman, I was a freshman. My sophomore year, there were so many number 5 Taylor on the back jerseys in the crowd. It was insane. Now, could you imagine being a college kid who has no money, right? Because he's from around where Vic's from, right? Projects and all that shit.
Yeah.
Standing in the stadium with 66,000 people, and 3,000 of them are wearing your fucking jersey.
Yeah.
And you're not making a dime. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they changed it. Now, I get it. He's the quarterback. Not everyone's going to be wearing the fucking left guard's jersey.
Which is
Yeah.
which is
why,
why
where other companies come in.
Well, which is why I had said before, you can't just blanket pay everybody in the NCAA.
No, and that's why
can't just
they
pay
allowed
every
them to make money off their name and
which is the most fair thing. But
Mhm.
what they could do a step further is take all the restrictions off of you have to come to school. Like, no, dog, I'm 18. I'm technically a grown man. I can go shoot for the military. I can do all this shit.
Yeah.
I should be able to go to the pros if I would like to.
Yeah, that rule needs to be changed. And I think like basketball players, right? Like send them to the G League. G League's blowing up now. Like, you want to train?
Yeah.
Send them there.
But I'll tell you this.
If you play football though, like college football is needed because that is a great way to train for the NFL.
Well, so I can see the NCAA's argument is gonna be like, well, okay, so if they don't come to school for you, how are we gonna like put fans in the stands and all that? I'm like, dude,
They don't watch you fucking
It's
fucking
about
go to
your
school.
school. It's about pride for the school. The school's still going to do well. Don't tell me there's not going to be talented people that can't go straight to the NFL. You hear the stories all the time of people. Tom Brady, perfect example. He looked like a string bean, out of shape, just random guy, and then he goes and wins all these Super Bowls.
Because a level of coaching and training there is
what I'm saying is the school itself isn't going to miss out on its revenue. The fans are still going to come because they love the school. It's about the pride of the school.
Exactly.
They're not going to miss out.
You really think these fans are going to give a shit if he went to class all week?
Yeah, no.
Fuck no. They're there on Saturdays to watch him throw touchdowns.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, like, even to that point of you have to come to school for a year and then go, like, no, dude, you don't. That's not. If you let that go, that's not going to make you lose money. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because the people are still going to enjoy it.
I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Forcing talent to come to your school to earn revenue.
Yeah, it's not really. You think that's making you a fuck ton of money, but if you let it go, you're still going to make money because there's still going to be somebody that's not good enough to go pro that's going to be a college phenom.
Right. Well, and on top of that,
because all the talented guys have already fucking left. They're in the pros.
Right.
So they can be a phenom.
Right. And on top of that, if your school is that big and that good enough to attract someone with all this talent, there's going to be other talent that's going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're not talking some fucking D3 dumbass school that doesn't have anyone coming to the games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, you have to come here. And this guy knows he's going to leave after a year. He's not going to D3 school. He's going to Alabama. He's going to, they have, it's sold out every fucking game.
Yeah.
You're not going to worry about over one guy.
Yeah. Well, and so here's another positive thing that ScareCrow was alluding to during the break here. Like, this actually could be a positive thing for student athletes. Why is that, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, it's a motivating factor for kids, right? I mean, now you saw, I mean, I was looking, like you said, John, on Portnoy's social media. There's just kids coming out of nowhere doing these push-up videos, jumping out like, hey, man, I'm only 12 years old, but will you please sponsor me? I'm going to work so hard for you, right? I mean, you got that added social media pressure, and now you got these kids, you know, asking for sponsorships, but they're working harder, so their work ethic's going to be better. They're going to be focused. 100%. They're going to be a good menace to society. Yeah. You're not going to see a problem with them. It gives kids in sports another avenue to express themselves and to put themselves out there.
Energy. Yeah.
Exactly. And it really guides them into the right direction. I mean, and I'm not a parent, but I have some friends that are. And I mean, I think as a parent, you know, you'd probably want to think that, yeah, my kid's going to work extra hard. I don't have to worry about it now, right?
Well, you see that now because you've been coaching.
That is true. See, yeah, I do coach.
Because I had the pleasure to coach soccer for 8 years or so. Yeah. And like, you know, I saw that. Like, I want these guys to do good. Like, you know, because I know all the pressure. I was just there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I try to tell them that all the time. And so you're on that same level. Like,
yeah, so right now I've got the Top Gun. Shout out to my team. They're 17 and under AAU in Charlotte. I've been coaching them for about 6 months now. They're a hardworking group, but
basketball,
basketball, yeah, AAU boys basketball. For those who don't know, but what's interesting, right, is it's crazy. It's like we're talking about this. Their focus, it's crazy. I know what these kids are doing on their routines in the day, and they're all lifting weights, working out, and doing CrossFit type exercises every day. Like all of the whole team is at Lifetime Fitness. It's just like us back in the summertime when we were at the CBY, you know, the CB Rec Center. Shout out that.
Shout out to the Rec Center, man.
D-Lock, all these people, man. We used to be in there. Like it's just. But that's what these kids are doing. Except they're adding the weights and the CrossFit and stuff like that, and they're all wanting to be physically fit. Like some of these kids, I'm like, man, good for you. I actually 2 kids on my team now. The first year I started coaching, they were 8 and 9 years old, and I'm coaching them now as junior and seniors in high school. That's they somehow ended on my team. It's full circle. No cap. It's crazy.
And that's a big relationship builder too. I mean, you're literally seeing these kids go through puberty and all if they're that young. Shit.
Yeah, like, dude. It is funny. Yeah,
you see them how they were then, and it's like, God dang, you're totally different.
Yeah,
like,
damn, you got all this acne. You're tall as fuck. You're taller than me, and I'm a tall guy. I'm like, dude, wow.
Yeah,
you know. But I know their parents. Yeah, dude. Yeah, taller than me. I'm like, holy crap, dude. But it's great, man. I mean, but
I could definitely see it as a motivation factor because, like, man, you know, if I could have myself, because that's what obviously Barstool Sports is all about, having standout people, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you can have, even if you're, I mean, hell, what's a random sport like a pole vaulter? Like you could be a standout somehow. You get what I'm saying?
And
so
like with them,
I could see the motivation aspect to Jordan's point.
And it's not even standout now. I mean, I can't even. You saw a story. If you look at, he's got 40 different athletes from all like softball. I mean, you name it. Like they're all there because for companies like Barstool.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to grow, right? He's going to send them free Barstool athlete gear, which at the end of the day is a write-off for these companies.
Yeah.
To just put the shit out. Oh yeah, we're sponsoring. It's sponsorship. It's
Yeah.
all write-offs. It's free marketing
Mm-hmm.
for these college athletes.
No, it's great. But
And so it works out. I'm happy that the NCAA included everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not the major
Like you
sports.
can you know what
Well, it
else is
should-
cool about this?
it
Well,
should be that,
hey
but-
D-ball, real quick. You said Master P's son signed a $2 million deal. One, what is Romeo? Is it Romeo? Right?
oh,
Master
his
P's
son?
yeah,
I
little.
forget. Little Romeo.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
he
know.
was.
What is he still playing? I thought he was already out.
Yeah,
of
I thought he
college.
was at USC and then signed. What does he got? 1 year college eligibility
What?
left.
I
and
thought he was like
that's
close
a-
to like just a few years younger than us.
That's
what I'm saying. I thought
yeah.
he was in school like years ago.
Oh, he said
No, not him. His other son.
Oh,
That's what
okay,
DW said.
okay.
What
okay.
sport does he play, and what did he sign a deal for?
Yeah. For
Anyway.
for those of you listening to on the regular pod, we're talking to Captain DW on the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Yeah. It's nice though to just see. I mean, like you said, pole vault and all these other sports. Because let's be honest, dude. How many times does ESPN or anybody out there give coverage to the little sports, to the track and field?
Yeah, they don't.
They
Yeah,
don't
they
to the tennis, to whatever it is, the volleyball. Really, I mean. But now, guess what? You do. And it's
Mhm.
because, like you said earlier, standout pole vaulter. Man, we never knew this guy existed. That he's never hit the pole one time, or
Yeah.
that he's cracked the record in his state. Right? No one ever knows
Nobody
about
knows
that. Yeah, man. It's
But guess how hard pole vaulting is? Pretty fucking
it
hard.
looks
Yeah.
hard.
and it's ballsy.
Yeah, Yeah.
You have to like.
I wouldn't.
It always amazed me in high school. But you have to sprint full out with a big ass pole 3 times as long as you over your shit, and then put it in this little hole. Giggity. Put it in this little ass hole, and the fucking thing bends while you're in the air, and
Yeah.
and then you got to
You better hope you got enough momentum, or you're going
Yeah.
backwards.
and then you got to be
Yeah.
Gumby up there in the air,
Yeah,
and hope the
yeah.
pole doesn't hit you.
Gumby.
And then hope the pole doesn't fucking hit you. Like it's honestly incredible. So shout out to every pole vaulter out there. That's an incredible thing.
yeah.
Tennessee State. Hersey Miller is his name. He signed a deal. He plays basketball for Tennessee State.
Awesome.
Lonzo definitely blazing a shot. Rookie of the year, shout out the Charlotte Hornets.
Hey.
Oh wait, LaMelo.
Yeah, Lamelo. Yeah, Lonzo.
So
Come on,
anyway-
Royds.
Yeah. So anyway, I
You know what I'm
think
jacked
it's a
about the
cool
most?
thing. What?
NCAA football coming back.
I'm jacked about football coming back in general.
No. NCAA football. The game.
Oh, wait, what are you talking about?
NCAA football.
Oh, like the video game.
Correct.
Okay.
Stopped in 2015
I'll be honest with you, I didn't know it stopped.
because the NCAA players were like, wait a minute, you guys are making tons of money. That's me. And when you
Mm.
played NCAA, it was just number whatever, but it had the size, the height,
Holy shit.
like literally. And now they can put the players' real fucking names in the
Yeah.
game, and the game will be back in
I will
production.
say this though, like in terms of like from the acting world, like on residual aspect, I'd like to see those
Roy
contracts.
said, "I'm watching soccer. Blame it on that."
I'd like to see the contracts of that, because you got players that are just on the bench, put their names out there.
It's going to be a set fee for everybody.
Well, it'll be some kind of formula or some kind of shit, but
You just like
it'll just be interesting
for
to
the
see.
football players, like that's cool. There's no other NCAA. I mean, they'll probably do
But
NCAA
I think
basketball.
we're all in agreement, so that we like this.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it for
Probably
them.
good for the game.
And like local companies too, like UNCW athletes, like local businesses can sponsor.
But I am
athletes.
gonna say this, now that they've done this, they're not gonna let up on that whole you have to come to school, because they want theirs.
Oh, now
Like I
it's
said,
like
it's like some. I'm saying it's like, dude.
no, you're right. We're
it's
giving
some
you
mafia
a
shit.
minuscule slice. Let's all keep in mind the NCAA is a non-profit organization.
bullshit.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's
Let
not
me
talk
tell you
about
something,
that.
man. Like, dude,
We wouldn't get all. That's all anyone needs to hear.
yeah,
NCAA is filed with the government as a non-profit.
yeah,
Fuck off.
dude.
But to have players, and you're right. I didn't even think about the motivation part.
Yeah,
Like just motivating high school kids to like be better.
yeah. So I just think, but now that we're all talking about, like for the NCAA standpoint, they're like, all right, yeah, we'll give them this, because we're really not going to lose anything, because we're still going to keep these people under our thumb legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make a little money, but we're going to make money too. But we're not. At the end of the day, we're not losing much. That's probably what they went through.
Dude, no. If anything, they're gaining
I wouldn't say they're
at
gaining.
the end of the day.
How are they gaining? The dude's making money off his name and likeness. Yeah, he probably has to give X% to the school, but like the school was getting full percent, full 100. That's why they're not gonna lift that other shit about like, no, you're coming to school.
You think
that's
that
fair.
you think that with the likeliness of new names coming about would lead to such things like team deals from Nike and Jordan to sponsor?
They already have team deals.
They
they
do,
got
but
team
they can
Like
change those.
schools are sponsored.
Yeah, no, but they could change
Like
those.
Michigan
potentially.
football, dude, they're all Jordan.
Yeah,
Tar
exactly.
Heels?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean they can change at any time.
Oh, okay.
Like our school was I can't even remember the company, but we were sponsored by a company because we
Is
all.
it per sport or is it?
No, I think that's just the school.
It's school?
They do deals
Okay.
like with the school.
Okay.
Because I mean that would be just get way too fucking confusing. You know what I mean?
Well, that'll lead us into our sports recap. We're going to start off with the NBA.
All right,
The Suns have advanced to the finals.
Suns. If you've been listening to this show regularly, I've been saying I like the Suns.
He likes the Suns. The Suns and 4 guy, who everybody knows now,
Shout out to that guy.
was on multiple podcasts, interviews, all that shit. Before the series started,
Mhm.
he posted a little montage video and like 3 or 4 different interviews. He's like, well, listen, the Clippers are a great team. I think they take 2 from us, Suns and 6. What
He's
happened?
nailed it. He's
Suns
nailed
and
it.
6. I can't wait to hear his prediction for the finals.
Yeah, go ahead and listen to that guy. I'm telling you. Well, I like this series because Paul's never won one. Okay,
Mhm.
I think the Hawks are gonna do it. I think they're gonna get there.
We'll see, dude.
Hey, I'd
We'll
like to see him.
see.
Who's back
Ooh.
first?
We'll see.
Giannis or Trae?
We'll get to that game in a second.
Giannis, I don't know.
CP3 put on a fucking. It was the best performance of his NBA career, which has been a long one, 16 years in the game.
Yeah,
His first finals ever, and he has taken a team that literally there's one player with finals experience. It is Jay Crowder with
Yeah.
6 games.
yeah.
6 games of final experience combined for the entire squad. That shit is unheard of. He didn't join a fucking big ass 3-headed monster, right? Like LeBron and all this shit. He took a team with no experience, and obviously Devin Booker, and he said it after the game. I don't know if anybody watched the trophy presentation, but Rachel Nichols asked him why he came to Phoenix, and he had been with Monty Williams, the head coach, prior in New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
and reunited with him. And he goes, but the main reason was D Book. He said, this man right here, and he was standing right there, he said, this man's a dog. And it is. Devin Booker is a 24-year-old fucking baller.
I'm gonna go ahead and shout that Devin Booker guy out right now. All right, this is me, Jimmy here. I didn't grow up playing basketball and all that, but I respect toughness. This cat, I mean, he's been wearing that face mask and all that.
Yep.
Got his nose broken and all. On that
What are we talking about?
that game the other
Game
day
5.
with Paul George.
Game 5, yep.
All right, so before Paul George hit him in the face, somebody else, I can't remember, I think it might have been Beverly.
He
But
took the mask off. And
he took the mask off, so this is no mask, stitches across the bridge of his nose. The Beverly guy accidentally headbutts him because it was an accident. And, so he was on the ground for a second and not nearly as long as LeBron. We did a whole segment on that.
Yeah, we did.
So he got the fuck up on that one, kept playing. A little while later, Paul George comes through. I saw it. Paul George comes through, double taps him with both elbows because he was transferring the ball from one side to the other. Goes pop, pop, both elbows. Dude's down and gets the fuck up. And if any of y'all have out there either have been punched in the face or broken your nose, that shit is tender.
Yeah.
Tender.
That shit is tender, bro. And he's sitting there with stitches and the whole 9, and he got the fuck up. And so, I hope LeBron was taking notes on that. That's what people talk about, what they want to see from LeBron. Because he's, that next tier of greatness would be that toughness.
No, yeah, you're right. But back to what you're saying about Pat Beverly.
Yeah.
Pulled the biggest bitch move in all the fucking land last
That's
night.
disappointing.
Chris Paul has the game of his career. He drops 41 fucking points to get to the finals. Towards the end, well, it wasn't even. It was about the fourth quarter just started. About 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Timeout gets called. Chris Paul is walking by Pat Bev. I don't know what he says. It doesn't even look like he says anything, but clearly he does. Pat Beverly turns around and fucking full shoves him in the back.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, dude, it was a hard
I went to
shove.
sleep at the end of the third quarter. I didn't see it because
And-
of the. Damn, are you fucking serious?
Hard
For
shove.
what, though?
The replay show. It doesn't even look like Chris says anything.
It was a look. It was a look Chris gave him, and it wasn't a bad look, but it was a look. But you got to say, if you
It was
watch
just
the
like, you're
game
good.
if you watch
I'm
the game
beating
at
you.
the start,
Yeah.
Patrick Beverly was playing well in the first quarter, but he was running his mouth.
Listen, Pat Bev is known for being a menace on defense and being an annoying motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I don't know what. I guess it was a look, but Chris Paul wouldn't even look at him, dude. And he full boom right in the back, pushes him over. Anyone would have fallen over. I mean, Shaq would have fallen. He pushed him hard. It wasn't a flop.
That's called
of course,
I'm fighting
of
right
course.
there.
Jay Crowder got in his. And listen, Jay Crowder's a scary fella.
He's not a small man.
Not a small man. He got in his face, and Pat Bev was ejected immediately. I mean, a ref was standing right there.
And let me tell you, if you've ever gotten pushed in the back like that,
Yes.
that is no joke. That the
I'm talking whiplash,
the
dude.
whiplash. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying.
I've been pushed in the back like that, and I mean, like, that's no joke. I mean, that was kind of dirty. So
Yeah, anytime you're not expecting impact, it's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like point blank. Which, weirdly enough, they say like in car crashes, you should be relaxed as possible because drunk people all the time
Yep.
like survive this
Survive
crazy
more than-
shit.
because their bodies
Because they
live.
just let it go.
Yeah, but isn't that crazy though? Because like
You tense up, it hurts
like,
your bones
the
more.
whiplash on everything, like you
It's
just
a
talking about
fact.
whiplash and that shit hurts, but like it could save your life in that. Because there's this guy who was like the human fucking crash dummy. Son of a bitch literally did the job of the crash dummies, and he said they would. Could you imagine this, bro? You're sitting there in a car, about to get propelled forward by the machine
Into the wall.
about 50, 60 miles an hour, and you're just sitting there with your little crash helmet.
I'm like, somebody give me another
And-
shot.
But the dude literally was just like, he said he would just chill.
Could you imagine?
And
being
just
that
and you're
relaxed?
staring at it and you're feeling the force and you're just like, here it goes, man. You're a badass, bro. Like
You're also
you're
insane.
crazy, but you're a badass because like that takes a lot of
He's
fucking
dialed
balls.
into like a sense of just
Yeah, just
relaxation, a
chilling, dog.
zen.
I mean, obviously you can't do that job forever,
No.
Yeah, no.
but I'm sure he got paid adequately.
Yeah, you have a lot of trust in the safety team.
Because at the end of the day, if you look at it from the company's perspective, well, we did this on human trials. Regardless if he knows what he's doing, you
Yeah,
still
I
did it
mean,
on human trials.
that's
Which,
fair.
which from a sales standpoint, you're like, hey man, this is probably the safest model you're going to get on the lot.
True. But Chris Paul falls over, gets up, and just starts hysterically laughing as the ref ejects Pat Beverly, which was great. And then at the end,
That's
right, it
worse
was
than
like,
getting punched in the face.
it was like a
man.
minute and a half,
Somebody
2 minutes
laughing at
left. Chris Paul, another fucking awesome shot, and just starts running his mouth towards the basically Boogie Cousins, right, DeMarcus Cousins,
him. Yeah.
and Cousins has been known for just talking shit, like, and that's a large fella. And
Dude,
Chris
he's
Paul
massive.
was just running his man. Chris Paul got teed up. He didn't give a fuck, dude. I mean, could you imagine working your ass off year after year and getting close? He has gotten to that point and not made it to the finals. And finally.
No, I
finally
think
you fucking
I'm a
do it.
big believer in like I like seeing people who legends. He will be one of the legends of the game. You know, like
Oh, yeah. He's a Hall of Famer.
so. Like I like seeing people getting their due at the end of their career.
100%.
Because you look at the Hawks, and that's a young team on the whole. It's a young team.
Both
of these
Suns
are.
beat
The
either team.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton, their young center, is turned into something special.
Well, they just happen to be ran by like an old head that deserves it.
Look,
You get what I'm saying?
Look, I'm gonna play opposite here. If the Bucks make it to the finals, I think the Bucks beat the Suns.
So moving on to the Bucks. The Bucks
Yeah.
took Game 5 yesterday. They're up 3-2 in the series. Game 6 is tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. They will not have Giannis again.
Yeah, Atlanta's
Young-
gonna win, bro.
Trey Young's day to day.
They'll win that next game. Watch this.
Atlanta's -2.
Is Trey Young playing?
He's day to day. We'll know
Doesn't
tomorrow.
matter, dude.
It doesn't matter. They just got
It
blown
does,
out
it does
by,
matter. They just got
by
blown
20.
out last night.
They
Where
they
at,
won
though?
the first.
Where at? It
in
was at
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Okay, and
No
they won the
shit.
first game without Trey Young. But you got to understand. I mean, if Giannis is he coming back or not?
Giannis is not.
He's not
no.
coming,
back.
That's what I'm saying.
Middleton is a monster.
I know he's a monster.
People
okay?
say Middleton's the best player on that
No,
team.
Captain. Shout out to Captain DW. He says he's the poor man's Kevin Durant.
He
That's what he
yeah,
is.
exactly.
Wow,
Well,
that's a
damn,
great
good
way-
analogy.
Nice.
That's well
Well,
played.
in terms of DraftKings betting and all that, but in
Well,
general.
it's just- yeah.
Well, I mean,
but,
yeah, in general,
But
yeah.
my thing is, all right. So you got Herter, young buck. He's like 22, 23. All these young cats shoot better with the crowd on their side. That's a fact. The pressure
Yeah,
and all
true.
that shit. I'm
I
telling
understand. I get
They're gonna
that.
win that
Look,
next
all
game.
right. So Atlanta wins the next game, and then it's Game 7 in Milwaukee. And I'll tell you what, Giannis is probably back before Trey Young. And first off, thank the Lord that Giannis didn't go out. I don't know for those who saw that injury.
you. Yeah.
His knee. I
can't
thought it
believe
was
he didn't
over.
tear more.
Yeah, I thought it was
I
over.
cannot
He
believe he
didn't
didn't
tear
tear
a
more.
single thing. I mean, when you want to talk about a blessing, that was one right there. I watched that live, and I was
That just shows how strong he is.
yeah, because he even looked at his knee and he said, "Oh fuck!" And then that was when he laid back down, and then I was like, "Damn, he must have felt it pop." Because when I saw the replay, it was hyperextended and out. And I mean, your MCL and ACL,
that's a wrap.
I thought it was over. I was like, this is unfortunate. I said, what a fucking year of injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that. No, the MRI showed no ligament damage. I was blown.
I'm still gonna pull for the Suns though.
I know. I
want
like the
the
Suns.
Suns, too.
I love Chris Paul. I want him to get one. I mean, I just, as a basketball mind, if Giannis is back,
I don't think he will.
the Bucks are.
Listen, dude, knee injuries, even something like that, it's
No,
a
you're
couple
right.
week thing. If he comes back, it'll be game 5 or later.
Yeah, especially if you're that big of a man. Like,
Oh yeah, and think about how his knees get worked, son.
Hey,
every
look,
day.
if anybody out there bet the Hawks would play the Suns in the finals, I'll pay you out double. Because there ain't nobody who thought these two teams would make it.
Yeah.
No way.
Beginning of season,
No
futures,
way.
yeah.
Lakers, I mean, the Brooklyn Nets, there's so many other good teams out there. No one. So it's a young generation. I mean, I thought Luka and the Mavs would get pretty far, but, it's tough. I
Look,
mean,
man, I'm just happy that, like,
I'm happy as two.
I like the
there's
teams.
4 teams that aren't big.
They're not big, and
Yeah.
they all fucking want it, dude.
that's the best
Yeah,
part.
they do
Fucking
play well
want
as a team.
And
all
like,
of them
because
do.
I'm not even a big NBA fan, but like these cats are coming out here playing for real, and
Yeah, it's nice to not see LeBron at this stage.
dude.
Like enough. Like
Yeah,
'cause
agreed.
Everything.
I'm not a LeBron fan.
And like,
sorry.
listen, LeBron is a freak athlete. I love watching him play. The guy's phenomenal. I'm not taking that away. What I hate is the media coverage are always on his fucking dick, dude. Like, thank God he's not here because they can talk about other things.
Dude, to me, he's just a prima donna. And he'd be like the kind of guy I would love to guard. I'd love to block him. I'd love to get in his head. I'd love to fuck with him. Because at the end of the day, he's a big, strong man. But I personally think he's a pussy.
Yeah, and he didn't
Just
become
saying.
that until the last like 3 or 4 years.
I mean, dude, this man was doing drops for Who Kid mixtapes back in G Unit days.
Oh my God.
Hey, but you see him at his son's game, and no discredit to his son, great basketball player, but like when him and Drake showed up to the game, it's like all about them.
Yeah,
They
it's-
celebrate, they
yeah.
pause the game. It's there's got to be some
Ego
sort of
shit.
story. Yeah, some ego
and
shit.
and they're watching a game that have 10 kids on the court that all are going to go D1.
Yeah,
Every one of them.
it's like, but it's all about him, and it takes away. He loves to take away the shine of others. It's got to be about him. That's my thing with him.
So
I mean,
ego,
that's true.
Ego is a powerful thing, man. Don't ever forget that.
Ah.
Even in like little jobs at
That's
your
true.
workplace, people got egos.
Moving on to another championship, the NHL Stanley Cup Final
Mm.
is taking place right now. The Lightning are up 2-0. Game 3 is tonight. They're playing Canadians.
Yeah.
Tonight, 8:30 p.m. As you've been saying, Jimmy, for a month.
They're smacking them.
Yeah, Lightning's going to run away with it.
They're going to take it, man. And so, but I didn't know this. They're actually over their salary cap. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. It won't matter when they get that championship money.
somebody else talked to me about that the
They're
other day.
like-
They were complaining that
we
they're well
literally-
over the salary cap.
18 million over.
Yeah, exactly. Is that
And-
true? Yeah.
Well, that's what, because Denny, so me and Denny, Captain DW, we rode our bikes up to a bar called Mad Cats. Anybody not from this area, Mad Cats is quite the place.
Just, I mean, when you hear the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's like old biker heads, rednecks, the whole nine. Like,
Mad Cats.
I'll put it this way: we got there, and there was a whole bag of beef jerky sitting on the bar that this guy had made, and he's just like handing it out like candy. Like, so, like the first thing I did was eating beef jerky at this bar that we pedaled our little bikes up to. But anyway, that dude there was talking about how the Tampa Bay was over this cap. So we Googled it at lunch today, and it said 18 million over.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, how the fuck is that even? How did they not get penalized?
They do.
But when and what was that penalty?
It's probably just like a monetary penalty, which
For
like,
next year?
which
Some
sucks
shit?
because like, well, they still have all these great players.
That's
on
what I'm
their team.
saying. They're still beating the brakes off people.
I'd like to look that up and compare it to like NFL cap. Like,
And honestly, I mean, it was just spur of the moment thing, and I was on the way up here,
I didn't know that. So.
or I would have looked it up. But so we'll touch on that next time. But obviously, they're going to smoke them. But don't forget, I have said on this program that if Tampa Bay wins, the Bucks are going to win again.
You have said that. You have said
I've
it.
said it
a couple
multiple times. And then NFL Bucks.
Anyone following the
Yeah.
Euros? Italy just won 2-1.
So they got to match
They are
up with
going-
Spain.
They are going to play Spain in the
España.
semifinals. Tomorrow we have well, we'll get to that. So yeah, NHL Stanley Cup Game 3 tonight.
Yep.
Wimbledon tennis. Jordan, big tennis guy.
Yeah.
Wimbledon's going on right now. Another big tennis person is my grandmother. She's been waking up every day at 5 a.m. to watch the coverage on ESPN. I think Djokovic won today.
I watched Federer win yesterday. I was doing a work day at Cedarwood Country Club, and
Djokovic was about to win the second set when I was making this outline around 1 p.m. today.
there's been more controversy on the women's side. Serena Williams is out.
Yeah, Serena Williams got hurt.
Other one. There's a lot. Azarenka lost.
Osaka
Yeah.
did not even participate because of the mental thing and the reporters and the media. It is what it is. You also get paid millions of dollars to fucking do that shit, so suck it up.
I'll be honest with you, Jimmy the Kid here knows nothing about tennis.
Wimbledon is shit. What would you, I mean? The Super Bowl.
No, I know Wimbledon.
It's up there. It's like you got to think of it as the golf majors.
Yeah,
Right.
one of the
Right?
majors.
It's
I
one
know
of the
that
majors.
because every year in high school when we would go to White Lake, Branch's parents would rent the
Yeah,
house. It would
yeah.
be, if y'all hadn't been to White Lake, North Carolina, if
That
you had
Dairy
just straight
Queen.
cable back then, there was like 4 fucking channels, and it was just the local channels.
Yep.
And so that would be tennis. You're in high school, you're getting drunk as shit, and you're hungover sitting there watching these idiots play. No offense, you're watching these guys hit the ball back and forth. I'm like, dude, fuck that.
That shit takes.
Feels like my brain's
you
getting
gotta
hit
be an
back and
athlete
forth.
to do that shit, man.
Dude, I actually like playing tennis because of that. Like, you have to be
Yeah.
on your toes the whole time. It's actually a good time. I was just busting balls on Jordan, man.
That's fair.
It's all good.
Euros. Spain beat Switzerland today in PKs. Switzerland. This is the second game in a row they went to penalties. They eliminated France via penalties. Lost to Spain today. And as we just said, Italy just won, so Spain will be playing Italy tomorrow. The Czech Republic versus Denmark is at noon. Okay, great story here. Czech Republic. The striker for Czech Republic has the goal of the tournament. Patrick Schick. I talked about this. It was like a 55-yard bomb. Patrick Schick, I later found out, almost quit football, soccer, whatever, 2 years ago to pursue a modeling career. His sister is a model.
Wow.
Check it out.
Check her out. Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't continue to play in footy, and now look.
Oh,
It's working
excellent.
out.
And also, shout out to our listener in the Czech Republic. I noticed you've been listening to recent episodes, so appreciate you listening.
Yeah,
and,
whoever you are. Yeah,
you know what? I hope your team goes far, bud, because obviously America doesn't have a dog in the fight. So
Yeah.
I really don't care.
They are playing
Yeah.
Denmark. The story of the tournament. If you remember, Christian Eriksen is he's not the captain, but easily the best player on Denmark. Had a heart attack in the first game, and died on the pitch. They brought him back to life. The whole deal. The team is now rallied around that, and they just keep winning. So that's gonna be a great game to watch because both teams aren't supposed to be where they are, and they just keep performing. So Denmark is favored -0 so they're minus 0.25, like an Asian spread.
Okay.
Right. So if you bet it, and I guess they tie, right? You get half of your money back. So you put 50 on it, you get $25 back. If they win by more than a goal, you get the full bet.
Gotcha.
For people who don't know. And then the match of the weekend. At 3 p.m., Ukraine versus England from Rome.
What day?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. So 2 games tomorrow. Yeah, Czech Republic and Denmark at noon. Ukraine, England at 3 p.m. The 3 Lions, the lads, the king, leading the fucking boys. Obviously,
Harry.
since America doesn't have a hat in this, I'm a humongous England fan. My jersey's in the wash because I wore it the other day. England now, I mean, with Belgium being out, Spain versus Italy, so one of them is going to be knocked out, right? Those are the biggest competitors. So I see England beating Ukraine, beating either Czech Republic or Denmark, doesn't matter, and getting to the final. And it'll be, Italy or Spain. So.
Shit, we also have a listener from England that's been tuned in too. So, like, I'm sure.
I believe that's my Aunt Gail.
Really? Manchester?
Hey,
No, she's London.
She's
hopefully the red side,
She's South
Manchester.
London.
Yeah, this dude, guy or girl lives in Manchester. So.
Shout out to you. Is Manchester red or blue, Jordan?
Red. Fuck it. It's red.
As a big Man U fan,
Yeah.
the American fucking European soccer.
I think
team.
it's coming home too.
Yeah, I think England, especially, I think tomorrow, once we know who the other semifinal is, now we know it's Spain, Italy. When we find out what the other semifinal is, pending England makes it there,
Got it.
I will be absolutely hammering them.
Well, I can't wait to.
Royce wants to know, is it coming home? You fucking right, it's coming
Yeah,
home.
that's why Jordan said it's coming home.
Last thing on the sports I want to touch on real quick
Yep.
has to do with the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Sha'Carri Richardson is a 21-year-old track and field runner.
Mm-hmm.
You may have seen her. She has the like fire orange hair, the long nails, the whole deal. She ran a 10.78 in the 100-meter last week.
Like stripper nails? Like
Oh yeah, dog.
okay.
Like that. Like
Okay.
but it's a vibe for her, dude. She's out there
Oh
killing.
look,
it.
I'm not
She's
taking
you know,
shit away. I'm just trying to get
when
a full
she
picture.
did when she ran that 100-meter.
Yeah.
She got about 65 meters in and pointed to the clock because it was her all-time record. She
Damn.
pointed to the clock and ran the last. I mean, just like
That's
really
badass.
baller, badass shit.
That's badass.
Like Usain Bolt doing, like smiling at the camera as he crosses the finish line.
So we'll have the Olympics all summer too, which is cool.
Yeah, I guess.
What do you mean, dude? I mean,
Yeah,
come
Olympics are cool. It's just like fucking like it's in Tokyo. There's so many issues. It's just so stupid. Just let America fucking do this shit all the time. But Sha'Carri Richardson tested positive for marijuana, and news broke today that trial and all that
They're
shit
stripping it.
is gone.
Fuck that.
For testing positive for marijuana. You know why she tested positive for marijuana? She found out a week before that race that her biological mother had died and smoked some weed to cope with it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if weed makes you run a 10.7 100-meter,
Yeah. I don't think the people in charge of it.
She gone.
Look, I know, I get it. Rules are rules. You know, you put them down there for a reason.
she was in Portland, Oregon, bro.
Yeah,
That's
and
where
it's
the
legal
trials
there.
were. She was there for a month.
See, I would appeal that then because it was legal in that state. But I don't know what the contracts say on the thing because I will say
The
like,
Olympic contracts. So she is disqualified from 100 meters.
Mhm.
She is still available for selection for the 400-meter relay.
yeah. But if anybody's ever
Which is her only.
smoked weed out there, I think you'd all like concur. It doesn't make you faster.
It doesn't make you faster. And like, what's the big fucking idea?
Yeah,
She's not popping steroids to give her an advantage.
Dude,
If anything,
it's-
it makes her slower.
yeah. It's not faster. Like I'd say, if anything, when you come to running and getting high, like you're more like aware and like you're worried about your mechanics and all that shit more than fucking
Well, yeah,
hauling
and if
ass,
it's
you
too
know?
much, you're worried about the people in the stands staring at you and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, awkward snowman. Like
Yeah, like, oh shit, oh look at me out here, I'm
that
wearing
dude
a
shoots-
fucking Speedo.
They shoot the gun off. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
oh shit.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, so it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just absolute bullshit. That, like,
Well, see, here's my thing, dude. She broke that fucking record. She knows it.
she knows it, and so, but here's the good thing that I think can come of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's such big news because of her situation and her mother passing and all this shit.
Yeah.
That I really wish, I hope that our government can see that and just go all fucking in on federal legalization.
Dude, they're
It could be. I'm not saying it is.
That's gonna occur regardless.
Okay, well, maybe this speeds up the process.
Yeah.
Because it can be. We're all pro, right? THC because of the medicinal value of it.
Well, I mean,
We're not saying like be a fucking waste of life.
no,
and all
dude.
shit, but like,
Yeah, for sure. But I'm just telling you, in terms of government, man, they don't do anything fast. Like, that's not what they do.
if it can speed it up 6 months, then so be it.
But I mean,
It'll
I
get
think
rid of all the wasted, stupid ass police shit. You know, like so many things will be. It's gonna be one giant. America's gonna take one giant sigh. Finally, when that motherfucker.
Well, true. I mean, it would help a whole lot of shit, and that's a whole nother thing we could tackle another day. I'm all for it, and I just again, if these baseball players can be in the Hall of Fame after they took roids, and she's gonna get her world record stripped because she got high a week ago, and it has no impact on the race that day, at all.
Yeah.
These cats. Needles in the ass to get better and stronger. Like
PED.
no.
This is performance.
She got high because
de-enhancing
she was
drugs.
depressed and got a little fucked up
because her mom
to
fucking
try
died.
to fucking just with whatever. So on the day that drug did not enhance or decline her performance
Correct.
in any way, shape, or form.
Right. In those 11 seconds, she
Yeah.
was neither superior or inferior to her
To everybody
opponents,
else, had nothing
and
else
so
to
she
do with it.
stand.
Yeah. So I think
And
it's
her statement today was very. I loved it. She's 21 years old. Let's keep that in mind.
Mhm.
And she said, "I take full responsibility for what I did. I found out my biological mother passed away. I
Yeah.
used it to cope. But who am I to tell you how to cope with things that you don't
Yeah.
expect,
Yeah.
or how to cope with your anger or your sadness?" She's like, "I did what I did, and
Yeah.
I accept that. I just think people can look at this rule a little differently."
well, I respect the fact that she went and said, rules are rules. I get it
Mhm.
because
They gave her
speaking of
1 month
shit-
suspension.
shit that's bullshit. NC State, the baseball shit.
Shout out to all the Pac-9 fans out there. I feel for you. That was
a crock of
an
shit.
absolute travesty.
Crock of shit, bro. Like that's all I gotta say about it. Like, yeah, okay, all you like the hardcore COVID people don't give a shit. I mean, but like, dude, these kids are athletes, ball players. Nobody was fucking sick or fucking
And
coughing,
motherfuckers that
needed
tested
medicine.
negative weren't even allowed to go back to play.
Yeah,
You see that shit?
It was a fucking joke, bro.
It's a fucking joke.
And I can tell you what, if you're trying to like push this whole like pro vaccines and all that shit, like what's the fucking point? Half the team was vaccinated, more than half. Like,
And the ones that were vaccinated were the ones that tested positive. It was weird.
this is my point. Like, dude, so fuck that. If anybody had a set of balls on these other teams, I would have been like, no, we're not playing it. I would wait. I'd be like, no, we protest, we strike. And I guarantee you the NCAA would have been like, well, fine, we'll pick somebody else from the lower ones.
Yeah.
But if they had fucking balls, they'd strike too. Because that's bullshit.
I agree.
This is something they'll never, ever, ever get back. And I would have been raised in so much fucking hell. Because we all know it. We all had one glorious time in sports.
Yep,
no
that
matter,
was it.
No matter when in life. But this was the big.
You're talking
is
for
the
a
big
chance
time.
to get to the fucking championship.
That shit
dude.
really, I'm like.
You work your life off to
It
get
infuriated me. There are 9 ball players, the starting lineup or whatever, out there on the field, spaced out at least by 20 yards in the infield,
Yeah.
and then in the outfield, whatever.
Yeah.
They said this shit doesn't spread outside. You got fans packed in the fucking stadium.
there. Yeah, homeboy from
pouring all
Texas
over
was
each
drinking
other.
beers out of a shoe and shit.
Like,
You
get
want to talk
the
about
fuck
COVID
outta here.
protocols?
Go fuck yourself,
it's such
man.
Bullshit,
That's
dude.
why I hate all that shit.
You know what? And the whole thing was
Yeah.
like, oh, we need Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has the biggest following, and then Vanderbilt fucking lost. Fuck them.
Fuck
And the dude
Vanderbilt.
from Mississippi State who hit the home run in the series clinching game, right, the championship game,
Yeah.
as he's rounding the bases, throws up one of these Wolfpack joints, right, like this.
Yeah.
He was DM'd yesterday by someone who sent him the photo and was like, the world needs to know, did you do this for NC State or not? And his response was Pac-9. That's all it said.
Yeah.
And the screenshot of that DM is on the internet now. And so, like, thank God Vanderbilt lost. Had they won, this would have been a huge. It'd have been way bigger than it already is because it is a huge thing.
It's a crock. It's a crock of shit, bro.
Mhm.
It's complete bullshit. And again, what the fuck? What are they waiting on? Why couldn't they wait? Well, however long to get everybody flushed out.
Yeah, funny how they do that, right? They kick
Yeah.
the Cinderella story out literally 5 days before you're allowed to make money on your name.
Yeah.
NC State wins this shit. All them boys paid.
Or they could have got something. I mean, it's
Anything. You don't know. I mean, we don't know
Yeah.
that, but like, it's just a lot of dots.
It's a crock of shit,
a lot of dots.
and
on
I'm
that.
fucking over it.
Me too.
That's how I feel about it.
Me too. Royd said Vandy's got old money. Dr. Fauci also.
Oh, I know.
Tom Kaiser sent me a photo of Dr. Fauci in a Vanderbilt baseball jersey.
Yeah,
Go
'cause
figure.
apparently he went there or some shit.
Yeah, Dr.
Apparently.
Fakey.
Yeah.
He got their ass beat by 9, so they can suck it. You're right, Royd. They can suck it.
They can, man. But you know what, dude? I'm just pissed for that. I really am.
I'm pissed too. Anyways,
Oh, I do want to do one quick local shout out before we give this thing the send off. Shout out to Ashley High School baseball team for going that far. Shout out Coach Stroll.
shout out Coach Stroll.
First year of head coach, got it to like the semifinals
Yep.
or
It was semis.
quarterfinals.
No, semi. It was to go to the championship.
Yeah, so shout out to him, man. You know, because he helped us out a lot this year, driving the bus for the soccer team and all that shit, and announcing the games. So
Stroll's a good dude, man.
yeah. But anyways, so shout out to you boys, and good luck all you seniors out there next year in college. Hopefully you won't have to go through the COVID bullshit, and you can really live it up.
That's right. Yeah. What was it? Eagle Pride. Shit.
Jeez.
All right, we'll catch you guys next week, episode 33.
Have a hell of a fourth.
Yeah.
Peace.
Hell yeah.